South Africa woke up to a development few anticipated. New details about the detention conditions and legal standing of Michael Sandlana have emerged, sending ripples through political circles and raising serious questions about transparency, accountability, and the rule of law. What initially appeared to be a routine legal process has evolved into a matter with broader national implications. According to reports circulating among legal observers and parliamentary insiders, updated information regarding Sandlana's status inside a correctional facility has intensified scrutiny of both the justice system and the political figures indirectly connected to the case. Michael Sandlana, whose name has become increasingly prominent in recent months, is currently being held within the South African correctional system pending further legal proceedings. Authorities have confirmed that his detention is linked to an ongoing investigation involving allegations that remain before the courts. While the precise charges are subject to judicial processes, the political undertones surrounding the matter have transformed it into more than just a legal case. Sources close to the situation suggest that new internal developments inside the correctional facility have prompted legal representatives to raise concerns. Reports indicate that procedural questions are being examined, including access to legal counsel, administrative decisions regarding detention classification, and the broader management of high-profile inmates. These issues, while technical, carry substantial weight in a country where the independence and integrity of institutions are continuously debated. South Africa's correctional system operates under the authority of the Department of Correctional Services, with oversight mechanisms designed to ensure fairness and constitutional compliance. When a detainee becomes politically significant, however, even routine administrative decisions can trigger national debate. Observers note that Sandlana's case has unfolded during a politically sensitive period. The governing party, the African National Congress, is navigating public pressure on issues of accountability and governance. Any legal development involving individuals perceived to have political ties inevitably attracts attention, regardless of whether formal connections are confirmed. The timeline of events has intensified scrutiny. Sandlana was detained following investigative steps that authorities described as lawful and evidence-based. Court appearances were conducted under standard procedures, and the matter remains before the judiciary. However, as new details have surfaced regarding internal prison dynamics and legal motions filed by his defense team, public interest has surged. Legal analysts emphasize that detention conditions, especially in high-profile cases, are often subject to review. Applications for bail reconsideration, detention reassessment, or procedural clarification are not uncommon in complex cases. What distinguishes this situation is the broader political context in which it is unfolding. Public reaction has been divided. Some citizens argue that the legal process must run its course without interference, underscoring the constitutional principle that no individual is above the law. Others question whether political factors may be influencing public perception, even if not the legal process itself. Social media platforms have amplified speculation, though official statements remain measured. Institutional responses have been cautious. Officials within the justice system have reiterated that all detainees are treated according to established regulations. They maintain that any concerns raised by legal representatives will be handled through proper judicial channels. This position aligns with South Africa's constitutional framework, which emphasizes due process and judicial oversight. At the same time, political commentators suggest that the Sandlana case has become symbolic. In a nation still grappling with the legacy of state capture inquiries and high-profile corruption investigations, the public appetite for accountability remains strong. The shadow of past controversies continues to influence how new cases are interpreted. The economic dimension cannot be ignored. Investor confidence in South Africa often hinges on perceptions of institutional stability. High-profile legal battles involving politically connected individuals can trigger uncertainty, even when proceedings are conducted lawfully. Analysts point out that transparency and clear communication from authorities are essential to maintaining public trust. Within Parliament, informal discussions reportedly reflect concern about reputational risks. Although no official parliamentary inquiry has been announced, members across party lines are said to be closely monitoring developments. The opposition has called for strict adherence to the rule of law, while the governing party has emphasized non-interference in judicial matters. The human dimension also deserves attention. Detention, regardless of political implications, has personal consequences. Family members of detainees often face social pressure and intense media scrutiny. In high-profile cases, the boundary between legitimate public interest and speculative narrative can blur. Legal experts caution against conflating allegations with conclusions. In South Africa's legal system, guilt or innocence is determined exclusively by the courts. Pretrial detention does not equate to conviction. The principle of presumed innocence remains a cornerstone of constitutional democracy. What makes the current moment significant is not merely the existence of legal proceedings, but the convergence of legal, political, and public dynamics. Reports suggest that additional documentation may soon be presented in court, potentially clarifying aspects of the case that have fueled speculation. Until then, much remains subject to judicial determination. Correctional services officials have reiterated their commitment to transparency within legal boundaries. Any adjustments to Sandlana's detention conditions, should they occur, would require formal documentation and procedural compliance. This framework is designed to prevent arbitrary decisions and to safeguard both detainees' rights and institutional credibility. The broader question facing South Africa is how high-profile legal cases shape national confidence. Each such case tests the resilience of democratic institutions. The credibility of the judiciary, the professionalism of law enforcement, and the neutrality of correctional authorities all come under implicit evaluation. Political tension surrounding the case reflects a deeper societal reality. South Africans are increasingly attentive to governance standards. Years of inquiry commissions and investigative journalism have heightened awareness of accountability mechanisms. As a result, any new revelation, even procedural, carries amplified significance. The potential consequences remain contingent on court outcomes. If procedural irregularities are identified, legal remedies exist within the system. If allegations are substantiated, further judicial action would follow. Conversely, if claims are dismissed or clarified, reputational impacts may still linger in the court of public opinion.